you can actually cross people out and type in remove the people crossed out in red. Gone. Nano Banana is now officially in Photoshop, which means you can now select an area, type how you want to edit it, generate, and boom, it's done. No plugins, no scripts. It's natively in the contextual taskbar. But before you run to try all of the amazing things you can do with it, whether it's creatively restoring photos or changing an outfit with very many multiple options or recovering lost details, please note that this feature right now is only available in Photoshop Beta, which is different from the regular version of Photoshop. You can easily install it by going to your Creative Cloud desktop app, go to Apps, Beta at the top, and from here install Photoshop Beta. And if you're still using a Captain Jack Sparrow version of Photoshop and want to try Photoshop with Nano Banana for free for a limited time, I'll leave a link to the trial version in the description. Now you can use Nano Banana by itself in platforms like Gemini, but Nano Banana in Photoshop does bring two major advantages. This is an example of missed focus. You can clearly see that the eyes are out of focus, whereas the hair and everything else is in focus. Now you could input the entire image just as you do with Gemini by pressing Ctrl or Command A and selecting everything. Clicking on Generative Fill and typing in restore and sharpen this blurry photo and add details. From the Models menu here, you want to make sure Gemini 2.5 Nano Banana is selected and then click on Generate. Now Nano Banana does have a smaller resolution limitation. It generates the result, this looks sharp, but still it's blurry. Why? Because of the resolution limitation. Here is the before, here's the after. It's even worse. But with Photoshop, you have the option to select a smaller area. In this case, let us first delete this layer. With the rectangular marquee tool, we are just going to make a selection of just the area that is out of focus. In this case, it is this area. Now let us try the same prompt inside of Generative Fill. I'm just going to paste it. Gemini is selected. Click on Generate. And now have a look. This is the real magic. Here is the before and here is the after. It's crazy and it has not changed a thing. Let us take a look at the lips and the nose. Here is the before. Have a look at the blurry lips. Here is the after. Crazy. So that's our first advantage, resolution. The way Nano Banana is right now, it makes some more changes to the generation as well, resulting into these harsh edges, and you can easily fix this with feathering or with masking. So with the mask selected right here, you can take the brush, you can take a soft round brush with black as the foreground color and just take care of the edges like so. It's not a big deal. Similarly, right here, there you go. That's how to fix this issue, and oh my gosh, this is just brilliant, isn't it? The second advantage obviously is the convenience of layers and masks. In this case, I selected just the outfit area and changed it with Gemini or Nano Banana. And then I felt that the smile needs to be fixed. No disrespect, and we fixed the teeth just like that on a separate layer. And then we wanted to add some jewelry. We selected just these areas and created some jewelry. Looks incredibly fantastic. Now here's the deal. If we were to do it directly with Gemini or any other application, we would have to upload the entire photo, and every time we ask it to make a change, it will make a change in other areas as well. There's pixelation, but in this case, we only select specific parts and make changes to that. Now it is time for us to move into more incredible use cases of Nano Banana in Photoshop, but before we do, know that I have a special gift towards the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. Starting with recovering details. In this case, we have completely lost details in the bride's dress. I recommend using the rectangular marquee tool because generations are rectangle anyway, but you can use the lasso tool, selection brush tool, that is up to you. But with the rectangular marquee tool, let's make a selection of the entire dress. You want to make sure that you don't miss anything, so I'm going to add a little bit right there. Click on Generative Fill and just type in add embroidered details to her dress and click on Generate. By the way, I've already done it. So here is the before and here is the after. Keep in mind, whenever you generate, it will move slightly. So you will have to use masking or feathering to blend it, just as we did in the missed focus example where we cleaned up the edges. Let us talk about restoration, something where Nano Banana truly shines. Since the entire image needs to be restored, select it all by pressing Ctrl or Command A. Click on Generative Fill. You want to make sure Gemini is selected and use this prompt. And then you can add more details to the prompt. I have already done it. Here is the after. Take a look at it. I cannot believe this. I did a couple tries and these were the results. As you can see the prompt right here. Don't worry, I will share them with you later. Second, third, fourth, all of them fantastic. Take your pick. This is my favorite. Now, how do you turn your restorations into high resolution? Yes, there are many platforms like Magnific, Topaz that you can use. But let's say you want to regenerate some details and say you want more details on the face. Right now, it is not that highly detailed. So here is what you do. You make a selection just of that face area, click on Generative Fill and type in a prompt like restore and sharpen this blurry photo and add details, just as we did before with the missed focus. Click on Generate. I have already done it and here is the after. This is crazy. Before, after. If it changes the portrait a lot, generate one more time. Also, this badge was just not looking right. So I also did the same thing over the badge and asked it to recreate the details, and there we have the result. So overall, this is just on another level. You can also change the lighting of your photos and make them come to life as you restore them. Here's an old photo of my grandfather, the only photo that I have, and this is what you can do with it. Let me share with you the prompt. It's simply restore and color this photo and change the background to a dark interior. You can add some details of your own. This is the key. Change the lighting to, and then describe your lighting. Here's the first result, second, third, fourth, all of them just so brilliant. Just like Nano Banana drastically transforms an image while keeping the characters same. What if you could do the same with music? I really love this track, but it's kind of distracting for a video, isn't it? All you have to do is to type lo-fi with chill beats and hit apply. And the exact same track turns so laid back. Thanks to our sponsor, Epidemic Sound, you can now use this insane new feature to adapt the music to exactly match your video. Let's say we love the rhythm and the style of the song, but you want to make it more mysterious. And you only want to change the instrumentals without changing the drums or bass. Just keep those unchecked and click apply. And magic. And the most beautiful part, every time you use this AI to adapt a track, the original artists get fairly compensated. I've been using Epidemic Sound for the last 500 plus videos way before this collaboration. With a massive library of music and sound effects, you also have incredible features like auto-suggest tracks by just uploading a video clip, recommending similar songs when you post a Spotify link, and so much more. And in all of this, you never have to worry about copyright strikes or takedowns. I highly recommend that you try Epidemic Sound absolutely for free. Click the link in description and use the code PIX50 to get 2 months at 50% off. I remember making this video where I manually painted. Took me about 15 minutes or more to remove all the shadows from the face. But then I tried the same thing with Nano Banana when it released, Generative Fill, and typed in remove all shadows from the face and add some skin texture. Boom. This is what I got. There is one limitation though, and that is the resolution. It's still not that high. Here is the before. Look at the details. Here is the after. Although there are solutions to that, maybe that's for another video. Let's move on. There's a lot of crowd in this photo, and it's a hard thing to remove because there's a lot of intricacies and art in the background. But I tried the regular remove tool, clicked on find distractions, people, and removed it that way. And this, my friend, was the result. Before, after. Photoshop's Generative Fill doesn't do a great job in creating those intricate details. But then I tried the same thing with Nano Banana, but I had to select the entire area because the generation can move, and here is the result I got. Oh my gosh, this is so darn much better. But the resolution takes a hit. Now you can also do things that were impossible to remove before. Select the entire image and with a simple prompt like remove all scaffolding, this is what you can generate. Let me share with you a couple more results. Here's the first one. Here's the second one. Different variations, but have a look at the prompt. So darn simple. Here's another example for the same. Before, after. Crazy unbelievable. I made a video about removing fences in Photoshop many years ago and it took me 30 minutes to do it. But in this case, you can just select the entire image, use a simple prompt like remove the fence, and this is what I got. Although the resolution might not be as good as doing it manually, but removing such an impossible thing, it's just insane. Before, after. Now do know that most times it does take a few tries. It doesn't always happen in the first generation. You can also turn heads very easily. In this case, I have made an extra selection to give her some breathing room, and you can type in make her look towards the camera and then click on generate. And this is what I came up with. Of course, I had to use some masking to make it softer, but have a look. Here is the before and here is the after. You can also, of course, change the entire pose of the body. In this case, when I selected the entire thing and I asked it to make him pose like a ballerina, it changed the outfit in a way that I didn't want to see. So I had to use this prompt. Have a look at the prompt right here. Make this man pose like a ballerina in the exact same outfit wearing sneakers. Otherwise, it was changing it to the ballerina thing. So here's the second, third, oh my gosh. This man is so darn expressive. Now, Nano Banana works great with markings and annotations. It's like it understands you. In this case, I have crossed out these two people in the front and then selected just this particular area and simply asked Nano Banana, remove the people crossed in red. And this, my friend, is what I got. Isn't this so good? Now, do know the first time I did it, it generated this. Where did Acon come from? Before? After? But I had to generate one more time to keep it true to the original subjects. Now you can take your annotations to the next level and have people pose with you. Not my car, by the way, or truck. Here is a photo of Keanu Reeves, and I just typed in, make this man pose with the man on the left. That's it. And then you can select the entire image by pressing Ctrl or Command A. And if there are prompts in your image, just type in, complete the prompt in this image and click on Generate. I've already done it, and this is what it did. Cool, isn't it? Now, can you expand photos with Gemini just like generative fill? Keep in mind, Gemini is made for making changes to particular areas. But still, I have made a selection, and let us just type in complete this photo. We want to make sure Nano Banana is selected and click on Generate. And as you can see, it does completely fail that way. That's crazy generation, but you can trick it. So here's what I did. I filled those areas in red and then typed in, fill the red area. That's it. And generated. And this is what it did. So that's how it can work, but still it will take a hit to the resolution. So you may need to use some masking to get it back. Now, this is one of my favorite creative applications with just turning this portrait into an oil painting with thick strokes. And this is what it generates. Marvelous, isn't it? And the great thing about Nano Banana is that it makes the painting look like him. Here's the before and here is the after. You can also ask it to change the background as it converts your photo to a painting. In this selfie with my mom, the background wasn't as exciting. So this is the result that I created. Before, after. And it still exactly looks like me and my mom. All you have to do is to add a little more to this prompt. Here I have said, change the background to something abstract with heavy brush strokes. Again, another result, similar. Here's another one. You can also change the camera angle, although the resolution will take a hit. Select the entire thing and type in change the camera angle to bird's eye view or whatever camera angle you want. And this is what we generated. And it's pretty accurate. He is still holding the same guitar. It's still the same person. It's just that there might be some issues here and there. Now you can also use this to change text on anything, and it should maintain the style and the font. Let's see. Let us ask it to change the text from Marriott to Nano Banana. And this is what it did. Mostly it did maintain the font and also the hoarding style. Before, after. Now I also made a selection here and asked it to change it to a banana icon, and there we have a Nano Banana building. Let's talk about changing the lighting, and sometimes in Gemini, you have to think creatively. In this case, there were harsh shadows all over the place, and I wanted to remove those. So I tried using prompts like change the lighting to overcast and make the shadows soft. As you can see clearly that it did not work right here. I also tried another prompt, remove the shadows. Very straightforward, it did not work. And then I thought about what are the times when shadows are soft. It is either evening, morning, dawn, and then I tried change time of the entire scene to dawn. And there you go, it fixed that. So here's the before, here's the after. You can even try evening. It creates an effect like this. You can try mornings as well. Now, if you've used Photoshop before, you know that one of the hardest things to do is changing the color from white to black or black to white. And in some cases, it is almost impossible. In this case, as you can see, there's also sunshine on the jacket as well. This part is absolutely dark. Trying to make it white manually would be incredibly, insanely impossible. But in this case, I can just change the color of the jacket to white, type that in, and with Gemini, here, is the result, and it maintains most of the stuff. Since we can change the time of the day, what's stopping us from changing seasons? But do not forget to change into seasonal clothes. So in this case, here is summer, likely, and here is winter. So darn good. Now keep in mind, I have not only asked it to change the season of the entire scene to winter, but also change their clothes to winter clothes. Here are a couple other results. Here's the first one, second one. Speaking of different seasons, you can also make it rain. But before just typing in make it rain, there are some other changes you need to think about before as well. For example, if it's raining, this lady wouldn't be here with this cycle, and there wouldn't be so many people out there. Also, there would be clouds in the sky. She would be wearing a raincoat or maybe an umbrella as well. You need to put in all those details, and this is what I got. Have a look, the subject is at the exact same spot. This is so darn nicely done. Here's another generation that I did, and also the resolution is not as good, but you can upscale it as well. There are many technologies available. Here's the before, and here is the after. Crazy good, isn't it? Before, after, and how I upscaled it, maybe that's for the next video or some other video. Let me know if you're interested in the comments. You can also create some insane product photos from your logo or text, although it won't be as detailed and there might be some pixelation here and there, and you wouldn't have those flexibility. It's great for ideas. So let's say this is your logo and text. You can select it all and then type in something like place this logo on a black soda can or wherever you want to place it. You can have descriptive prompts as well. And these are a few things I generated. Have a look. First result. And here is the second one. The prompts I used were descriptive, like levitating dramatically above a burst of splashing clear water, and you can be as descriptive as you want with these prompts. And with the exception of some generations and being way better than ChatGPT, it will try to maintain your logo and text on the object. Here's the first, here's the second, and in both cases, it's pretty darn good. Now, this is a fun application, not at all professional. Let's say you want to turn this selfie into a professional headshot. So I've selected it all, and you can type something like, turn this selfie into a highly detailed professional headshot. You can go on and say stuff like add a suit, add some rim lighting, that's up to you. And this is what I generated. I know this is a completely different person who kinda looks like me, but you can play with stuff like this. As you can see, I've also explained that it needs to be a nice photo studio with 3-point lighting, rim lights, dark, textured backdrop, outfit changes as well. First one, second one, third one. You tell me whether it looks like me or not. To me, it's not the same person as this one. Now, this is a great one for real estate visualization. Let's say you want to flip this house by repairing it, and you want to imagine how it would look like. So you can type things like repair the paint or repaint the house, remove the chickens, mow the lawn or just add some grass, repair the windows, repair the roof, and I did that. And this is what I got. And again, here's the before, here is the after. It is the same window design, the same wall design, everything perfectly done. The roof is repaired, but do keep in mind, it did take me a few tries. This was the first result, nothing. Second one was nicer, but it didn't do this area. Third one, odd. And fourth one is where it worked. And this is the prompt that I used. Now, sometimes you don't want to give too many instructions. It might miss a few things here and there. So I did it in two parts where I fixed the ground. Again, before, after. Have a look. Great for visualization. I changed the gate, fixed all of this, added a pavement, and this is how it looks. You can also ideate some professional product photos from simple phone photos. So I snapped a photo of this particular pen, and this is how the photo looked like. I selected it all, and you can type in, turn this photo into a professional product photo shoot or something of that sort. You can change the background to white, and this is what it generated. And again, it took me a few tries to get something like this. Here was the first one, second, and see, it changed it from cross to something else. This was the most accurate one. Now, we learned how to change colors in Photoshop. There are several videos and it's quite easy to do. But what about changing the entire paint job? You can type something like change the color of the car to something like Hot Wheels, and this is what I generated. But I didn't like the Hot Wheels logo, so I removed it. You can also change the background by typing in change the background to a racetrack, and this is the final result. Now, changing color of an object does look possible technology-wise, but what about changing finish. Let's say you want to turn it matte finish. It would be impossible to do anything like that in an image editing application. Even removing those reflections won't give you the shape and dimensions of the car. But with this, I can just type in, change the color to matte black, and this is what I get. This is a great way to figure out how your car or motorcycle will look like if you paint it, wrap it, change the finish. Totally up to you. Now, as you're transforming simple product snaps into professional studio-like photos, you can also change the colors along the way. So here's a picture of a cheap bottle that I took with my phone and simply typed in, turn this photo of a bottle into a professional photo shoot with clear lighting and complete white background, and change the color of the bottle to blue. I also asked it to clean it up and make it look like new, and this is what it generated. Before, after. Everything else exactly the same. The next one is a fun one. You can change the age of a person and visualize how they would look like 40 years later or 10 years ago. So in this case, this is a young Tom Hanks. I have chosen him because we know how he looked like before and after. So if we were to type in increase his age by 50 years, this is the result I got. It's pretty close, maybe not 50, but yet it's close. Just to compare with this one, this is how he actually looks like right now. So I have to say, it's pretty darn close. You can also do some traveling photos without even traveling there. I have selected the entire thing and typed in change the entire scene to Dubai. This is what it generated. Now I know this is very inaccurate. This is not where the Burj Khalifa is. This is not where the Burj Al Arab is. The placement is entirely skewed. Unfortunately, in Photoshop right now, you don't have the option to include a reference image. If we did, it would have been better. That's my guess. But for right now, this is what you get. There is a button for reference image, but still they have not made that feature available yet for Nano Banana. Now I did a few more tries and this is definitely not how things are in Dubai. But of course you can use natural backgrounds like mountains and stuff. And these were a little more accurate because there doesn't need to be anything super accurate about this. But in all of this, the resolution will take a hit. As you can see, here was the before, so clear. Here's the after, all blurred out. But you can use some Photoshop magic to bring the sharpness back on the subject. Just like so. Have a look. It's all back. So here was the before, here's the after. And just for that reason, it's super essential that you always know the fundamental techniques of Photoshop. And if you want to master those concepts of Photoshop from start to finish and beyond, definitely check out PiXimperfect Pro. You have 100+ lessons, hands-on projects, and consistent updates to help you conquer Photoshop the right way so that you never have to memorize any single step because you would know and you would be the master of concepts. You'll be able to create your own steps, own methods through hundreds of practice projects that you can follow along. Photoshop is always updating with features like this, and you need a platform to master Photoshop that keeps all of those lessons updated with these features. We in fact also have a separate course included just for AI. And right now with the launch of Nano Banana in Photoshop, we are running a Nano sale that will stay for a very limited time. So check out PiXimperfect Pro only on PiXimperfect.com. Back to the video. Now we talked about restoration, but we can also do reverse restoration to stylize our photos. We can type something like transform this photo to look as if it was taken with a very old film camera from the 1950s, 40s, 1800s. If there was a camera then, up to you. So here is the result that I got. And to share with you the prompt here, you can clearly see old film camera from the 1950s. I also tried several other ones as well. This is from the 1900s. This one is from the 1900s, but with scratches and wear and tear. You can choose to include those as well. This is such a fun way to stylize your photos. But what if you not only wanted to change the photo style, as in changing the camera to an old camera, but also change the entire scene to look like the entire photo was taken in 1800s or 1950s? Can we do that? You just have to change the phrasing. Instead of camera, just directly mention to transform the photo to look as if it was taken in 1800s, 1950, whatever you desire. And this is what I got for 1800s. Now you can also make some very fun edits with Nano Banana, and this is something that I learned from Chris Kashtanova. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. And this is the prompt that she gave to transform a part of her image, in this case it is her, into a doodle. Let us try. I used this exact same prompt, replaced the subject with the scooter in this photo, and this is the result I got. Pretty fun, isn't it? Before, after. You can also create a collage of the items that you want and combine them brilliantly. Here I have a random collage of a shirt, pants, hat, and the bag. And I just typed in create a male model wearing all of these items by selecting the entire image. And this is what I generated. See, it's the same trouser there as well. It's a similar shirt and he's carrying that particular bag. The only thing is he's not wearing that hat. So maybe I'll have to do it separately with annotations. You can easily create outlines from photos for a coloring book and type in something like turn this photo into a simplified outline drawing for a coloring book. And this is what it came up with. Here's the before and here is the after. Have a look. It even did the clouds separately. It may not be perfect and the resolution is not the very best, but it's a good starting point. Maybe you can upscale it or maybe it's a good reference for tracing. Now we have talked about annotations before, but you can take it a step further for interior design. In this case, I have made a lot of marks like turn on this light, paint the wall dark gray, place a human there, or change it for a light, or place a painting there. You can also just bring in a painting and ask it to place it. And with all of these instructions on the image, you can select the entire thing and type in something like complete the prompts in this image. And of course, you can give additional instructions like turn the entire scene into night. And this is what Gemini came up with. It's crazy, isn't it? Have a look. It placed a painting in the center. Yes, check. It painted the wall dark gray. Yes, it did that. It turned on this particular light. It was not bright enough. And it did that. It changed a few things, but that's okay. And it also replaced this with a large lamp and placed a human there as instructed. Of course, you can change expressions and type something like make this woman smile. And this is what it generates. It looks pretty cool, but is it how she actually smiles? We don't know. The way our smile muscles work is very unique. And if you have a photo of someone serious, you cannot guess how the smile would be. But just to see how close to accurate this is, I took this photo of Dwayne Johnson and we know how his smile is. And I changed that with Gemini. Here's the real photo and the generated photo side by side. You tell me how accurate this is. I could have shown you more examples, but right after this error popped up. So what is the entire credit situation? Is there any limit? It's so complicated. Let me share with you what I know so far in the simplest way possible. So what is happening now? You have complimentary access, which means every time you use Nano Banana or Flux, which also is there with this version, it will not deduct credits. However, you do have limits. What kind of limits? That is quite unclear. Some people say, some sources say, you have 500 credits per day for the all apps or the pro plan. Or if you are on a photography plan or a single app plan, maybe it's 100 credits or 100 limits per day. Now, what will happen in the future after this promotion is over? It will definitely consume credits. How much credits? Again, that is unclear. So every time you hit the generate button, will it consume 1 credit, 4 credits, 20 credits, 40 credits? We don't know. When will the promotion end and when will this credit feature start? Possibly October 28, as mentioned on Adobe's website. So if you want to try Photoshop till then with Nano Banana for free, I'll link the trial version in the description. For more detailed information about the credit system and the entire complicated stuff, I'll leave links to all pages in the description. Now, Gemini 2.5 Flash Image, in other words, Nano Banana, is not the only partner model that came with this version. It also came with Flux. Now, both the models have their pros and cons. Before getting too much into it, let me share with you a couple examples. In this case, I made a selection of this area and I wanted to remove all the reflections or the glare from glasses. I tried Gemini several times, and as you can see from the prompts as well, first I tried remove all reflections. I tried that again. It's not doing anything. But then I tried Flux. I selected the exact same area. You can click on Generative Fill and type in remove all reflections. And instead of the Google logo there, click there and choose Flux Kontext Pro. We can click on Generate, and this is what it generated. It's pretty fantastic, isn't it? So here's the before, and here is the after. Of course, I had to combine it a little bit with masking. Also, this eye had a shine there, and this eye didn't, and it felt wrong. So I copied this and placed it here in this layer in the old-fashioned Photoshop way, and now this looks pretty good. To give you another example of Flux, I highly recommend trying that when Gemini gets it wrong. In this case, I selected this particular area and asked Gemini to change the text from 4 Seasons to PiXimperfect, and this is what it did. it messed up the spelling, it entirely moved the stuff. We can align that, not a big deal. It made this P a bit larger as well. But then I tried Flux, and this is what it did in the very first attempt. If I show you the properties, see, change the text from 4 Seasons to PiXimperfect, we used Flux, and this is what it did. Everything is aligned, and it's so good. It maintained the metallic finish as well, and it just worked. Right now, it is hard to put into words how massive leap in technology this is. I'm stunned. Although there are still a few limitations with Nano Banana, especially in Photoshop. The first is definitely resolution limitation, and this is how Nano Banana is. Here is the before. Look at how detailed the picture is. Here's the after. The resolution just doesn't cut it, but there are ways. We can discuss it in a separate video. The second problem is, although not all the time, but many a times, the generations move a bit. So here I had selected this area, generated a smile, and the entire thing moved. Here's the before, here's the after. As you can see that there are lines here, even if you make selections with the lasso tool, you will see that edge. Then I had to use some masking magic, create a mask like this to kind of fix that issue, but it will move. The third problem is the number of generations and the fact that you have to wait and you cannot do anything else while it's generating. So let's say we typed in transform this photo to look as if it was taken in the 1800s, and this is what it does. Let's say you don't like this. You will hit generate one more time, and it only will generate one generation. What if you wanted 4? Yes, it can take credits, that's fine. But what if you did want a couple choices? Besides, you would have to wait for this generation to end to start a new generation. And the final one as of now is that there is no support for reference images. I cannot just type, make this man wear this shirt, and then click here, upload a shirt photo. I cannot do that with Gemini at the moment. But these options are there directly with Gemini or even Adobe's Firefly boards, but not here. But there's definitely a workaround, not as good. I just placed this photo here and annotated it and just processed all the prompts in the image, just as we did before. Now, there are many more crazier use cases of Nano Banana directly from Google, and these are a few ones that I liked. You can have the pet of your dreams, and if you go to their pages, they already have prompts for this one. You can also picture yourself anywhere. And again, we discussed similar prompts for this one as well. And this was a fun one where you can imagine your profile photo as anything, even a mug. And of course, before getting a haircut, you can experiment with a lot of haircuts, pick what you like, and maybe show it to your hairdresser. Now, of course, I had to try the selfie example from Google. You can add anyone to your selfie. For this simple plain selfie, I simply typed in add Spider-Man and Venom acting friendly around me. And this is what it did. And it's pretty good. I don't know why Spider-Man is wearing an Apple Watch. We probably discussed 50 examples here. Which one was your favorite? Let's talk about it and let me know in the comments. Meanwhile, I haven't forgotten your gift. Every prompt that we used in this video, I have made a PDF of that and you can download it absolutely for free. Just check the link in description to get it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give us a like and also don't forget to subscribe, and not just subscribe. Ring the bell so that you, my friend, don't miss any other future tips, tricks or tutorials. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Till then, stay tuned and make sure that you keep creating.